This is the one secret attribute in your baits that may be costing you fish. Today, I wanted to talk about something in the bass fishing world, especially in Asia, that we don't really talk about here in the US, and that's the idea of pitch. High pitch and low pitch baits. So what is high pitch and low pitch when we're talking about baits? Generally, when we talk about the pitch of a bait, that is going to be the sound or vibration that it gives off. So if we look at this, a very advanced graph that I drew for you, this right here is going to be our low pitch. Over time, you can see that it makes louder sound or vibration, but less frequent. Now, if we take the same amount of time for a high pitch bait over here, you can see it's smaller, less powerful sound or vibration, but more often and more frequent than the low pitch bait. Now, it's not that high pitch or low pitch is better. It's kind of based on your situation. A low pitch frequency is a vibration that bass can feel further away. Those stronger thumps is something that bass can feel better, let's say further away, so when you have to draw bass in, but also in darker, muddier water, right? When they can't really see and they gotta feel those vibrations. That low pitch is a great option to help them feel it. And on the other hand of that, the high pitch vibration is something that when the bass are close by, it helps them key in on that bait better. But also, generally a high pitch vibration or sound on a bait is equated to kind of finessiness, right? So when we're trying to be a little finessier, it's something that bass it won't be as aggressive feeling to the bass. It'll just look like a small fish. So let's say you're throwing a bunch of baits that have a higher pitch, you're not getting any bites. It is worth switching to a lower pitch version of that bait, right? So going from something with a lot of BBs in your crankbait that has a lot of small BBs, and that's a high pitch of sound because it's a lot of sound happening a lot, to maybe a bigger crankbait that doesn't have any BBs, but it's a big movement, or you have like a one knocker, where it's one big BB that makes that one thumping every movement. That's going to be your low pitch. Other examples of this will be spinner baits. So here we have a spinner bait with these big blades, and then we have an OSP high pitcher. The difference here is the size of the blades. These bigger blades will give off more of that thumping, but less frequent, whereas something like the OSP high pitcher is designed for really fine and small vibrations that happen very quickly. This also applies to things like chatterbaits. So this is the Aros chatterbait. I have the normal blade that we've all seen. This is our smaller vibration. However, I can switch out that blade to something this big and it becomes a big thumping. And of course, the same applies for paddle tails. Something like the Crush City Mayor I found is a high pitch vibration. That tail is just constantly going crazy in the back. Or something like an OSP Doe Live Shad, or like a Kitech Fat Swing Impact, where you have those big kicks of the tails that you can really feel in your rod. That's a low pitch. So hopefully now, instead of just mixing up your baits and colors and weight, you can also start to think about, am I switching up the vibrations, the pitch of my baits? So what are you waiting for? Get out there.